Hi, my name is Quinten Hyde and welcome to another episode of the Quinten Hyde podcast. A podcast that is currently only on YouTube and Spotify because Apple is really making it difficult for me to get it on there. Hey, today I'm going to be talking about traditional media versus social media. Spoiler alert, I like social media more. I have been talking for weeks about a subject that's really really personal to me and that I'm scared to make. It's not this one, because I still can't get myself to actually make it. It is coming, just not yet. Anyway, the reason that I'm making this is because a while ago, my manager, because I have a manager for my TikTok stuff, pretty much only for my TikTok stuff, and a little bit of stuff around that. He doesn't really look at my my YouTube that much, but he was asked by our national news, like the biggest news source we got in the country, if they were allowed to interview him about TikTok, to just ask a little bit about how TikTok works. He of course said, sure dude. So they came over, they shot for 3 hours, they didn't ask him to sign anything or agree to be aired or anything. They were just like, yeah, we just need someone to just kind of explain to us how TikTok works. And he was like, sure. And after the interview, they cut him into a piece, which was essentially titled something along the lines of, these experts want you to delete TikTok because it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say anything like that, but they cut him up in such a way that it seems like he actually said that TikTok needed to be removed because blah blah blah, China is stealing your information. I think it's a poor poor statement that people make as a whole, for the following reasons. Have you heard of Facebook? Facebook takes pretty much all of your information. If you get that, if you have that, literally you don't even have to be logged in for them to be able to track your data through something called Google Pixel. I'm sorry, not Google Pixel, that's a phone. Facebook Pixel. This is a thing that pretty much everyone who has a website installs on their website, and it tracks who is coming in. This is legal, this is allowed. TikTok has similar things. They track data, they know how to advertise to you. But people, for some reason, think that's scarier because the company, ByteDance, is owned by China. Why is that scarier? Literally, whether it's the US or China or Ireland, because there's a ton of them in Ireland, that is taking my info. It's the same to me. Because I don't have anything weird. Here's the thing. If you are a person who holds company secrets or who holds national secrets, you probably shouldn't have any social media app on your phone at all, because they all track you. Snapchat tracks you poorly. Let's put that first. Snapchat's tracking is very, very poor. It's been advertising exclusively gay dating apps to me, while I am not gay. I think it's because I talk to mostly gay people on Snapchat, or they figured out something about me that I personally wasn't aware of. I don't know. WhatsApp, is owned by Facebook, obviously, but tracks your stuff. Same for Instagram. Twitter. I'm not even sure about Twitter. I don't know a lot about Twitter's tracking behavior, but I'm sure they do. Let's be real. And have you heard of Google? Google knows everything. It's not a secret that when you scroll just the internet or social media and you get an ad for something you just thought about or something. It's not new behavior, but for some reason, because it's Asia, all of a sudden it's super scary. It annoys me. It annoys the heck out of me. And I get it when you don't have any information on it, but it's just people don't really think it through. Regardless, traditional media, so think radio, think television, think newspaper. When's the last time you had someone read a physical newspaper? They're terrified of social media. That's why every time there's a new something, a new app, a new platform, people start to massively make these news items that are just this is probably the most dangerous thing we've ever seen. Dangerous, it will kill you, it will eat your kids, sell your dog. I don't know why I put selling your dog as something heavier than eating your kids. No, but it's because that's the whole thing. When YouTube came out, television was this won't stick, but also it's super dangerous because sometimes people swear in it as if we've never seen a movie before, or what was it? There was this other platform that people just hate. I think it's mainly YouTube and TikTok, but it's also Snapchat. Snapchat came out, suddenly companies were traditional media was oh yeah, but did you know that your son and daughters could be spreading nude pictures with their peers. Yeah, you know where they could also do that? On text. Literally, I could print it and put it in an envelope and send it to someone. Like, it's not a new concept. It's not like, this is why it's so annoying to me, because like I understand that when you're like a traditional news source, you're terrified. You're super scared because your whole livelihood, the whole thing you do, is consistently being threatened. But then what you should do is change your news outlet to be able to actually work on social media. Additionally, this same news, like we have like this one big national news thing, which is actually not allowed to be anything other than neutral, which they weren't being when they made an item fully about why everyone should get rid of TikTok, because like that was actually not even allowed. And I don't even think it's legally allowed because it's a state-owned firm, I think, though I must say this could be false because I'm just kind of thinking of that. I'm not sure if it's the case. Anyway, super hecking annoying. But they also own this separate news outlet, which is called the Youth Journal, which is literally the news, but for kids. So it's fun kid stuff, anything that kids really like. It's really like a low-key, no super dramatic stuff. Like, you're not gonna see war stuff on there. It's really like, oh yeah, these 12 kids from this one class, they raised 400 euros for charity or something. Like, it's fun stuff. But then at some point they made this this news item about how TikTokers ask children for money. Because essentially what is possible on TikTok is you can get donations from people. They later on changed that so you have to be 18 in order to be able to get donations or give donations. But yeah, it is possible for someone to make an account and lie about their age. As with anything, this is like you can't check this unless you would have everyone send in their ID card before making an account on any website. So obviously that doesn't work. Or you would literally have to like make the state, like make the country create a system, like an account that verifies your age, which you would have to use for almost like a digital ID that you couldn't fake. But this doesn't exist, and it would also happen, like it would have to tie in with the rest of the world. So clearly there is no other way to do this just yet, other than assume that what someone fills in is the truth, because they are actually legally required to fill in truthful information. Anyway, this was this whole item on the Youth Journal. TikTokers consistently and purposefully ask young children for money. Clearly, this is not true. There are definitely TikTokers who ask for donations, as with any platform. But there was this one guy, he's a pretty big TikToker here in the Netherlands, and they interviewed him and they were like, can we just talk to you about like how TikTok works? Same thing basically, how live streaming works. And they cut him so weirdly that they made it seem like he said, I ask kids for like money on stream. Like it literally was almost like one of those, I ask money for TikTok, or like, no, I kind of screwed that one up. I practiced this one and I did so much better. But it was like one of those poorly cut things like, I ask kids for money on TikTok. Like it was really one of those things where you were like, there's no way you did this. There's no way that you cut it like this. But they did. Additionally, personal information I have with them, I had this really big charity event in the Netherlands online, which I started because of Corona, because it was fully online, fully within Minecraft, called Gala at Home. Like this kind of prom or gala fully on Minecraft, because I thought that was going to be fun. So basically I tried to grab their attention. They didn't reply to my emails, so I had 300 of my followers spam their accounts. So they contacted me. They were like, this is actually really fun. We would love to cover this. I'm like, thank you. That's nice. I like to hear that. And they were like, please give us your number, give us your this, and we'll call you before the event starts. They never called me. As a matter of fact, they sent me a text the day after the event saying, yo, wasn't like your event yesterday? And I was just like, dude, I didn't call you. I was like, I know. And she was just like, yeah, you know what? Was it fun though? Like, was it interesting? I'm like, yeah, it absolutely was. Because, obviously you cover the news after something happened. So it was like, yeah, we can still call. And she was just like, nah, you have my number now. Just text me if you have anything interesting in the future going on. I was just like, but the thing, it was like 12 hours after the event. Like, you could still definitely have covered the thing, right? Oh yeah, because she also asked like, oh, did you take pictures and video? I was like, yeah, tons. And she was just like, nah, never mind. So annoying. don't promise to news cover me if you're not gonna do it, because news coverage, I'm not gonna lie, I want news coverage and I want a bunch of it because, I don't know if you knew this, but in order to get a verified checkmark on pretty much any social platform, especially Instagram, you need to be covered in larger mainstream news sources a couple times. And I've been covered twice now? Twice? But you need a couple more. Like, I want to be able to get my Instagram at Quinten Hyde, a little plug, do one of those check marks, because you know how cool that would be? You know how big of a flex that would be for me to get somewhere and have that check mark? But yeah, no, apparently that wasn't meant to be this time. But it is fun to have a direct tie-in with them, but it is scary to me that they really want to attack everything new. And here's the thing, that's the thing that humans do. Because let's be real, every time we discover anything new, people's first reaction is, oh, we should probably destroy it, kill it, or dissect it and see if it's safe or something. And even when we find out it's safe, we're still not really nice to it. Humans generally are just really unpleasant towards things they don't know. But here's the thing, you don't see TikTok or YouTube or Snapchat or anything consistently hating on mainstream media. I mean, mainly because they are better than mainstream media. But it's the same, for example, just fully different angle. Cabs, cab drivers, taxis. I don't really like them. However, I do very much enjoy Uber. Unfortunately, I had this sound on again. Well, I'm so sorry about that. I think that's almost like a little inside joke now, because it happens every time. Anyway, pardon me, I just inhaled something. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, I don't have Uber in my city, because in the Netherlands we for some reason only have Uber in Amsterdam. But anytime that I get to use Uber when I need to have a cab ride, I will use Uber. Because traditional cabs, here's the thing. If I want a traditional cab in the Netherlands, we don't haul them, not as in New York or something. We don't just see them go and just stick up our hand and be like, hey, wait over there. There's a few designated areas where you can find them, where they're just kind of chilling out. Or you have to call a specific taxi company. So you call this, there's this list of companies. You call this one specific company. You're just like, hey, do you have a cab? And they're like, no, we're just a one cab company. We're busy. Okay, next one. Do you have a cab? No, we don't. We're just a one cab company. Please try another. You try another one. Hey, how many cabs you got? 4. Is any of them available? Yes, one of them will be available soon. Cool, how quickly can you get to my house? 40 minutes. It's annoying. People, the prices change. They are not as clean as Ubers because they don't work with ratings or anything. That's not always the case, by the way, but most of the time. And Uber just makes everything a lot easier. And then there's cab drivers who are like, yeah, they're kicking us out. They're killing our industry. And here's the thing. And I know a lot of people hate it when I say stuff like this, because I know a lot of people who are anti-capitalism. But truth is, we live in a capitalistic world in which the better system wins. It's not that crazy, right? It's not weird to me that someone would pick a much easier, most of the time in the Netherlands at least, a lot cheaper, quicker system over one that works a lot less great. Same with mainstream media. Am I gonna wait 30 minutes to a specific time to watch a show that I like, with the risk of it being an episode I've already seen, which is also gonna be interrupted 4 times by ads? And I have to be there at a specific time. I can't pause it to get snacks or something. Or am I gonna use Netflix or YouTube or anything to watch whatever the heck I want, never have to watch a rerun again unless I desire to do so, and it generally, most of the time, being cheaper than TV? No, clearly not. It's the same thing. Why do you think, what are they called? Renting, the movie rental places. That had a name. There's a name for that, rental places. I can't come up with it though. Anyway, why do you think those are all going out of business? No one's watching DVDs. And you don't, no one's being DVDs, I don't know what a point I was going to make, to be fair. But it's just when the system works less well, people are not going to be using it. And at some point, there is going to probably be a social media platform or a communication platform or device or anything that's going to work so tremendously well that it's probably going to kill some of the stuff we use right now. And there is probably also going to be people like, oh, no, we can definitely not use that. We can definitely not use that. But, you kind of have to go with it. Same as people who still choose to wire money to people by paper, because that's still an option, at least here in the country. For people outside of the Netherlands, we have this system in place called Ideal. And Ideal is connected to every bank in the Netherlands. And it allows you to send money to someone else through your banking app, connected to Ideal. It's always connected, like pretty much standard. And if you have the same bank, it gets there instantly. If you have a different bank, it's like a few hours to a day max, because everything in the Netherlands is plugged into the Ideal system. It's essentially like a much safer version of PayPal just for everyone else. Because in like, for example, the United States, I believe you don't have that. So you have like, do you use Cash App? No, I use PayPal. Oh, yeah, I don't have that. Do you have Venmo? You have all of these third-party things. But like Ideal is kind of like countrywide, you know what I'm saying? But you also, because that was the old system, you could like buy or print, no, not even print, I think. Yeah, I literally had to like go and buy a booklet of them, almost like checks, and you had to fill in information to the other person, how much money you would want to wire them, and you would have to put that in the mail. So everything would take like a week to transfer. And this was perfect when internet banking existed to check your stuff, but you couldn't just send it to someone yet. But there are still people right now who are using that system, who are, quite frankly, really slowing down the banking system because they just refuse to use something much quicker. And the state has kind of been like, yeah, like 3 years from now, we kind of want to get rid of that whole system because there's like 0.001% still using it. And they're like, whoa, but we can't do that, we can't do that. And she's like, yes, we can. Because the system's old as heck and it doesn't work. Like at some point, please, you gotta accept stuff changes. And that's the same, like here's the thing, I'm an autistic man, right? Change is not always cool for me either. Most of the time, I've adapted myself pretty well to it, so I get it. But I get that change can be scary, but please, for the love of gosh, when you have this huge level of efficiency in front of you, why would you still pick something way less efficient? It's like I'm, for example, so a lot of people in the Netherlands, I think like still 90%, drive manual gear shift cars. So, when you literally have to like shift gears from 1 till 5 or reversed, while an automated gear shift also exists in which you can literally just click cruise, drive, and like reverse or something. I don't have a license. But there's pretty much everyone here still goes out and buys stick shifts. Why? No one else in the world pretty much uses it. This is really like a Dutch thing that we still do that. I don't get why. People are like, yeah, I like having more control over my car. It doesn't give you, like I have some driving experience, it doesn't give you more control over your car. It gives you control over how well your motor is functioning. But at what point are you gonna say, I would like for my motor to function less well? Like, yeah, sure, if you want to have the option to make your engine struggle to get your car going, sure, like, go for it if that's for some reason your desire. But that's not what you want 9 out of 10 times. The same way that I truly, and this is a personal thing, I know that a lot of people disagree with me on this one, I don't get why people still write things down with pen and paper. I don't think I haven't written anything like actively with pen and paper in 6 or 7 years. Like high school made me do that. The moment I got out, never again. I own pens, I own paper, and I never use them for anything unless it's like a video or like a gag kind of a thing. I don't use it, and I don't get why people would, because here's the thing. I have awful handwriting, but you can always read what I write down on my notes in like my phone or my computer. If I write something down in my notes on my phone, I have it automatically on my computer. I have it automatically on my iPad. If I write down something on a piece of paper, I'll lose it. It'll be gone. It'll be broken, shredded. I'll put it. It'll stay in my pocket and it'll end up in the washing machine or something. Like still up to this day, like people will be like, "Oh yeah, let me just write down that phone number," or I'll tell someone like, "Hey, yeah, can I give you like a phone number to this and this, or like this is my address, and they'll be like, oh my god, I don't have a pen and paper on hand, and I'll be like, yeah, but you got a smartphone, right? And people will like, I'll literally see people's minds be blown like, oh, I could just put it in my notes, and I'm just like, yeah, this is so out of topic for my traditional media versus like like social media stuff. Additionally, this is what I'm about to say about that is, again, fully my opinion. Social media, or like modern media, is so much more fun, in my opinion. And I know, here's the thing, like, oh, you grew up with that. No, I look young and I sound young, but I'm 23. I've definitely known the time before social. And I used to love watching TV, and I used to love, not pretty much only that. I hated newspapers from the start. Newspapers suck ass. But anyway, there are so many like better ways to like consume your media now, but also more fun ways. Because here's the thing. On my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, I 99% of the time see stuff that I personally enjoy because it learns about what I want to read. If I buy a newspaper, I might want to read one or two things, and all of the other things I don't care about. Same with TV. Something will come on. Like, I remember as a kid, something bad would come on, and I would literally think, I have to get through this in order to see stuff that I actually enjoy. That doesn't need to be on social media. And I truly don't get it. Like, I understand that you can feel nostalgic about TV. I have that too, for sure. But who right now still thinks, even if you grew up with that, like, or like had 3/4 of your life watching that, when something new and much better arrives, why don't you adopt it? Why don't you use it? I don't understand it, but that is partly maybe because I love new tech. I adore it. It's great. There are rumors that Apple is gonna bring out, like, release augmented reality glasses with like LiDAR. Okay, much too much tech talk probably, but this year or next year, I am so hyped, even if that's just a leak and it's not even real. Like the idea of that, I'm just already like, because the idea of that would basically like people would be wearing glasses, a screen would be built in, like a transparent screen into your lenses, and you would literally see stuff in real life. That is like techie UI. So imagine I would literally like look to my right and I just have like my inbox just floating in the sky because I put it to my right between quotation points. Or like I would put, just looking around, like above my clock, or like I don't really have a clock in my house, but I have a wall like to my left that is completely empty. Like in my settings, I could, for example, put a clock on that wall, and literally only people who would be wearing those glasses and who I would permit to see my assets would be able to see that clock. This would also mean that people would be able to put like clothing on themselves holographically that only people would see with those glasses. Imagine a world where everyone's clothing that they physically wear is just base clothing, just to keep you warm, just a basic color, period. But all the cool things, all of your accessories have been added into cyberspace. So you look at someone and you see like fire or like sparks coming off of their collar or something, or like their sleeves or something. Or like someone who wears like a whole ball gown or something while not physically actually wearing that. All of that stuff to me is so cool. And you cannot sit here and be like, yeah, because people are like, some people don't accept new technology because they haven't grown up with it. I'm not grown up with that either. I'm well in my 20s. I don't like being well in my 20s. I don't like saying that either. But I am several years into my 20s. So I've never seen anything like this either. But I'll tell you, the moment that comes out, I am probably gonna be there pretty early on. Because it's cool. Because it's efficient. And that's basically my problem that I have with people hating so much, or like traditional media hating so much on social media. It's just efficient. Stop hating on efficiency. Stop hating on things that work better. I don't get it. Anyway, I think that was kind of my point. This was very lighthearted, just basically like a big old rant on my side. I was gonna admit, I didn't really have a subject for this week, and I had to come up with this pretty quickly, and someone helped me with that. Because I don't know, the stuff that's really like to my heart, the stuff that I feel like is connecting us better, it had to wait a little bit. It has to wait. Maybe it'll be next week, maybe it'll be 2 weeks, maybe it'll be 3 weeks, maybe it'll be more than that. But kind of tripping over my words too. Like, did you hear how weird I said maybe? I'd be like, blah, blah. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening and or watching to this podcast. Like I said, it is on Spotify right now and on YouTube. On YouTube, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you listen to this on Spotify, please tweet me at Quinten Hyde. I would love to hear what you think. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I would love to see you next time.